We are turning a 60-year-old fire truck into the ultimate toy hauler.
Last time we worked on it, we got the Cummins engine in there and running. Now I'm gonna do all the stuff to hook it up so it actually is properly drivable.
So far, we have removed a lot of the body and put in a 12-valve Cummins. But today, for the first time, we attempt to restore the original paint and bring all of the controls for the new motor into the cab so we can take it out on the street for the very first time.
What do you think, geese? Is it a good day to be a goose? Huh, Steve? Eating some clover? Yeah, good plan. Just keep doing goose things. Got a few more names for them. There's two of the big white ones that are kind of jerks. They attack the ducks and stuff. They're very aggressive, so we call them Kyle and Chad. If your name is Kyle or Chad, I'm sorry. It's not an insult at you, but they just seem like Kyles and Chads. I was looking at it and I was contemplating using this push-pull cable here for the shifter if this one isn't long enough. This one was for engaging the pump. This is the push-pull cable that runs the shifter now, and if I put that all the way up under there, it should be pretty far forward up under the seat, and then I can always just make a linkage that kind of extends it a little bit, possibly.
Feels good to have the fire truck back in the shop.
It does, yeah, it's been too long. It rotates a little. That's amazing. I've never seen a level sender like that before. There's some delicious smelling smidgen of gasoline left in there. Oh yeah, fuel tank is mint.
Really?
Yup. It looks like it was lined with something. Some sort of fuel tank sealer or liner at some point, which is great because it's not rusted at all. All we need to do is get that little bit of crusty gasoline out of there.
I just got a nice whiff of that. Yes, yes.
Yeah. That battery also had barely any juice, but hey, it was enough to suck the rest of that fuel out of there. This is our nasty old gas can at the moment. Hey, geese!
They seem to actually like it.
I know! Oh, guess what? Edwin will be back soon. Then they'll have somebody to really chase that's actually scared of them. Don't worry, geese. You'll have somebody to chase tomorrow.
Oh, I see.
Time to get really stupid. Hide behind the tire, see if anything's flammable. Nothing flammable coming out that side. Let's see about this one. Not much flammable going on in there anymore. Haven't figured out what I'm gonna do for the return just yet, but this is the fitting that goes into the tank, or that came out of it rather, which is 1/2-inch pipe thread to 3/8, and conveniently, I have a 3/8 to AN8 adapter in my piles of random AN parts. So I'm gonna put some sealant on those threads, and then throw that in there. Sticks up a lot farther than I'd like. Boo. But maybe.
Oh man.
That's stupid. Well, I guess I'll go take a peek. I don't think I have any longer pieces of hose. Having a coupler in the middle would be dumb, but I guess that's what I gotta do to make it work.
Well, did you find a combination of things that'll work?
I did. I still have no idea what size fitting that's supposed to be. It's kind of a weird one. But I found this random adapter that is the same type of fitting that goes down to 1/4-inch pipe, which isn't like the most ideal thing, but it works. And then I have this 90, which is 1/4-inch pipe to some sort of flare fitting that this fits in. So it's a bunch of fittings, but it works. I do need to figure out a fuel cap though. So it has a vent line plumbed into the side of it. And it's a very large filler neck, so that's kind of cool. A little bit rusty. That could work. Well, I guess for starters, let's go look at the fire truck that it came from. That's cute, isn't it? Well, I was looking for random stuff for the fuel filler neck, but I also brought down the box of intake tubing. So we can look at that. Basically, we just need to get it up above the top of the tank for now and have some sort of cover on it, and then I'll figure out a long-term solution later. Still don't know what I'm gonna do for the cap situation, but
Say all that again.
I think this might make a temporary cap just to keep stuff out of there while I do other things. Edwin would be so proud of us.
I mean, why is that perfect?
It's like airtight even. My kill switch works too, look at that. 2-for-1 test. So it's not perfect, but we have a fuel system, a fuel tank that's working. I said jump! Oh, that's a good boy. Oh, look at these boys. So good. Lay down, Bjorn. Calm down. Bjorn, will you chill, buddy? You need to learn to take a chill. Take a chill pill. Frederick came over to see what all the excitement was about. This is the stock coolant tubing from the engine. Finally, after 2 years of being in the shop here, I actually bothered to put this vise on the table that I use instead of over there. It's not a whole lot of a bead, but better than nothing. Keep the hose from popping off there. Get started. Now the fun one.
The weather's starting to cool down here in North Idaho, so I went to my favorite one-stop shop for some new clothes, Huckberry. I like shopping on Huckberry because it's highly curated men's apparel and accessories. I don't need to waste a bunch of time looking through a bunch of different websites. Everything I need is on one page. And there's never been a better time to shop on Huckberry because they are doing a Dream Year giveaway where one person will win the year of a lifetime, $100,000 and a $10,000 shopping spree at Huckberry. And all you need to do is click our link in the description and sign up with your email. But you can also boost your chances by making purchases and inviting your friends. So Huckberry is giving away over $100,000 so you can live your dreams. Click our link and sign up now. I guess I should have bought a rain jacket on Huckberry on top of this nice thick shirt. Let's get back to work.
This chunk, which is what was there. This is the same hose that used to be here. I just cut it and then was able to rotate it around, and it's actually gonna work pretty much perfectly. I'll just need a little section to fill in the middle there. I'll have it onto this end and onto that end, and it pretty well lines up. This piece is stainless, but won't hurt anything. Got my extension welded on there. Test fit, mark it, and then weld the two halves together, hopefully. Roll onto there one more time and make sure this fits the way I want it to. And then, believe it or not, I'm thinking I might paint it real quick. Because I'm not trying to fill it with coolant right now, so cleaning and painting it will take an extra few minutes and then it'll be all nice and spiffy. This shutoff valve here goes to the heater. And I'm going to keep it because that seems actually quite handy to have a ball valve in there so you could shut the heater off. More importantly, just so you could like close that off and work on the heating system without having to drain all the coolant out of the engine.
That looks good painted.
Yeah, it came out nice. Yeah, I hit it with a coat of primer and a couple coats of engine enamel that we have left over. Ridiculously overkill for anything. Oh yes, 10mm cable. I could maybe use that for the shifter. This is the original shifter cable. I'm just trying to tuck it up here for reasons, because I think I can use it for the throttle, and I want to be able to put some lubricant in there and let gravity do the work of taking it through it. So now I can just do this every once in a while and let it seep through there. Get it nice and smooth. Behold, parts for the cable holder bracket. Hexagon and rounded triangle shape for lightness, because clearly that's important on this. Oh, look at those snackies, you better start eating them. I had like a little jar of nuts, or like a trail mix sort of thing, and frickin' Einstein pulled it off the toolbox and dragged it out into the grass, so I was just tossing it to the geese. They seem to be confused by the spiciness. Look at them shaking their heads. They're eating it, but they're like, I don't know about this. I designed this for this other piece to be cut out of 3/8, which is incredibly overkill, but it'll look cool. Guess if I really wanted to make it look extra ridiculously overkill, I should have made both plates out of 3/8 instead of one out of 3/16 and the other out of 3/8, but you know, it's not. They're perfectly aligned, so pulling on this won't really do much. So I just need it to start like just a little bit up and then it'll be fine. I think if I just put a little tab on there and raise that bolt up, that should do the trick. This is just a little quick and dirty test piece here. Make sure that my concept is going to work. Okay, so from the lowest gear, a small amount of force on this end, will it shift? Yep. So I have a little tab there. Hold on to that. So for now, this is just to kind of symbolize my shifter. I don't know if I'm going to use this or any of its parts. I want the shifter to be in a reachable location, of course, and also not be in the way of passengers. So somewhere in here would actually be kind of ideal. Luckily, this thing has a quick disconnect seat, so I pulled that out so I can have easier access here. Now I'm drilling a hole in this back of the cab, firewall, whatever, so I can run that shift cable through into here. And then I'll make some linkages, and then we'll have a shifter.
He's really gotten used to his new bed here.
I think he likes the window. He can spy on the geese. Right, Einstein? This is a tie rod I had for mocking something up. I'm just stealing it. I'm just taking one of the heims off, and I think I'm going to use this for my shifter rod because it's 1 inch, so I can bend it if I need to, and it's steel, so it'll be easy to weld to. Yes, that ought to do the trick. This is my drawer of random brackets. I'm just looking for one that I can weld onto that shift shaft to hook up the linkage and see if it's going to work. Might as well use up a piece of scrap from something else. That'll work right there. These are the original brackets that held the end of that cable on the chopper. The same cable, the same heim joint on the end of it.
Wow.
And those 4 tacks would be more than strong enough for the rest of time. So I was contemplating it, and I discovered a problem with using that 1 inch shaft for a shift rod, or that 1 inch tubing. I won't be able to make a gate for it to keep, so that it like has something to hold it in each gear. See how little it moves between the 2 gears? If you were to try and make like a little gated shifter assembly, you'd only really be able to have like a reverse gate and like a drive gate, but you wouldn't be able to have any of the other ones because it's too big and they would overlap, and then they wouldn't be a gate. So I'm going to try out a much smaller one, which is less satisfyingly overkill, but still more than strong enough. I'm going super overboard here, but that's the fun part. Being real silly here. I bored this piece out so that this bearing fits in there. I was hoping it'd be a snug fit. It's not, so I'm just gonna tack it in there. It might last forever because it's just a shifter thing.
Did Edwin happen to see this or no?
I don't think so.
He's gonna notice it organically.
This is obviously temporary, but...
Why?
Did a part of the Chang Li make it into the fire truck?
Better yet.
Shrek! My favorite movie and character. Oh, it's going to be a lot easier to shift than it was before.
this cable from previously from the shifter is a little short. This is for the throttle, so the linkage is right up here. I can just make a little plate with a hole in it at both ends that connects the cable to the linkage. So a linkage for the linkage. It's just kind of weird because, you know, pulling it works fine, but then like it gets all. But in theory, if I put a nice tight return spring on the other end, it should be fine. So I'm gonna need a spring that's pretty long, a lot of coils, because it's gonna be able to. Oh, that is a very satisfying spring. We have a throttle return spring and a throttle cable mount bracket that I whipped up real quick, which means we have the ability to now do this. Vroom vroom. We have a Shrek shifter. We've got a Shrek shifter and a throttle. When I put this engine in here, I had to relocate the belt tensioner because it ran into the frame here. So I think I'm gonna do a 2-for-1 here, and I'm gonna relocate it up here, kind of. I mean, different orientation, but up top between the fan pulley and the alternator pulley. And the 2-for-1 is that this alternator bracket has been modified rather crudely at some point in its life. So I'd like to make a better alternator bracket. I'll slap that all the way up as far as it can go so there's more room for intercooler tubing. And then I'm gonna go design a new bracket here and cut it out with the arc droid that'll also have a mount hole for this. So kill 2 stones with 1 bird. Didn't have a big enough piece of 3/8 plate in here, so I went out to the scrap zone and found this pedestal that I made years ago for a bench grinder in the old shop that has a base that's 3/8 plate. Nice bracket right there. Next up on my list, I need to modify some things to make this fan fit this fan clutch. That's just a normal Cummins fan clutch, and this is the fan from the school bus. If you see here, if I put that on top of there, obviously it's a 4-bolt pattern still, but none of the 4, well, this one's a 6-bolt pattern, so only 2 of them actually can line up, and that's these slotted ones here, but the center bore is not quite the same here. I can bolt this down and drill a couple of holes here, but I also want the fan as far away from the engine as possible, just because the radiator is so far away. What I think I'm gonna do is put this in the lathe and turn it down this way a little bit. I don't have a whole lot to work with because these threads aren't that deep, but I can turn off at least 1/8 of an inch, and then while I'm doing that, I can turn down the center bore to match this. got my fan in there. It clears everything, so that's good. Don't have a belt yet, but I have a measurement, so we'll pick one up tomorrow. So now I'm working on lower intercooler piping to the curb ski here. Cut, test fit, slide under, slide out, and do it all again.
Yeah.
Tackled the lower intercooler tube first because it was the much more difficult one. The upper should be pretty simple. All it's got to do is go from hither to yonder. We are extremely close to taking this thing for a real test drive and not just halfway down the driveway and back. Most excitingly, we have just got to throw some coolant in there and make it a little shinier. I did a little test here on the fender just to see how much color we could get out of this old paint. And look at the difference. I mean, here we've got, let's be honest, brown. There's really no hint of red there, just brown. Right there, we've got a nice, deep fire engine red. Look at the crustaceans behind that logo.
You can still read it perfectly.
Yeah. And look at how nice this looks. I pulled this one off, buffed it, and put it back on.
What year is this truck?
65. So 60 years old, exactly.
I guess lead paint really had something going for it, huh?
Yeah. Look at how dark the red is behind there.
Wow. I just cannot wait to see this thing backed out into the sun. It's going to be next level.
That looks like it just came off the American LaFrance assembly line right there.
What do you think of the paint, Chris?
I think it's gorgeous. I love that old paint. I don't care if it has lead in it or not. It sure shines up.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that shine.
Yeah.
You can
Look
see
at that shine.
and you can see yourself in the in it
know.
now. Before it was brown, and now you can.
I understand why they put lead in it.
And just
because
think
it's
if I was actually
beautiful.
using like proper equipment. I mean, this is fine, but it's a 3-inch polisher for a whole fire truck.
I'm about to head to the store to get a bigger unit. It'll speed up the process a lot because the roof is a whole lot of surface area. That's a little different.
800 RPM.
Yeah. Thanks, man. You're a lifesaver.
Mm-hmm.
That's
what I'm here for.
If you ask Aza, he's poisoning you. Literally the opposite of a lifesaver.
Well, I think whatever you're doing's working, Chris.
Yeah.
How old are you?
68, almost 69.
And you're still working, keeping up with the young guns.
Yeah. Trying.
Oh yeah.
Game changer. Look at
Yeah.
that.
I just have a little example of how aggressive this degreaser is. This little aluminum foil cap that goes on top of here, a little bit of it leaked out and it just ate up that aluminum. This is half of it's gone.
Wow.
Like, you can't use this stuff on polished aluminum or it'll eat it. It'll make it not polished anymore. Just spraying this whole thing down with degreaser here, let it soak. I'm gonna roll it out and pressure wash it. Look at it just immediately eating the dirt off that tire. Fire in the hole. This will be its first time driving with the new engine and actually being able to use the controls inside.
Yeah. Now we need to find or build a flatbed. You could tell it's struggling without any weight on the back. Also, this truck hasn't been driven in like 5 years, so the brakes are a bit seized.
I mean, obviously this is the worst paint. There's a lot of chips in it, but it's still turning nice and red. Okay.
It's finally time.
It is.
Take it out on the streets with the 12 valve.
Oh yeah. The Shrek shifter is definitely not comfortable, like it's kind of stabby, but I do really like the position of it and the way that you can just kind of, boom, we're in drive.
Oh man, living the dream.
Good. Only 5 years after we bought this thing.
Yeah. I was in the garage flying the drone and Chris was like, I want to daily drive that thing. And Ethan was like, I'm going to daily drive that thing.
Pretty much. So man, this thing drives so nice.
Yeah.
Even though there's really like nothing eventful about this test drive, it's so much more meaningful than most of our first test drives.
Yeah.
Because it's been so long coming.
Yeah.
Or so long coming.
We really earned this one.
Yeah.
We put in our years. Well, if that doesn't make you smile grin to grin, I don't know what will. The Grind Hard Plumbing Company fire truck is on the road. This is a really big one right here. We've been sitting on this project for so long, finding the perfect engine, finding the perfect time to do it, building a garage big enough to even work on it in the first place. And it's all come together. We still have a long way to go, that's for sure.
We're definitely gonna need higher gearing. This is like a top speed.
It's a little burnout.
Just a little bit with a 20-foot long frame and no weight on it. Listen to that turbo.
We're home! Hey! We're home!
We survived, Einstein. It's a miracle.
Buddy! Why'd you get zoomy so late?
Seems like I did succeed in fixing the worst of the oil leak. I mean, you remember we drove the school bus like 2 miles and it was just a puddle.
Yeah!
This thing, not a drop. I mean, I shouldn't say not a drop, but like, basically not a drop. So something I didn't think about until we were driving down the bumpy road is that that cab used to be attached to not the whole rest of the fire truck, but the part that covered up the engine. There was a whole lot more there, and some of it bolted to the chassis. So right now, the cab kind of does a little bit of this. It kind of bounces front to back quite a bit. So I think it might need some more cab body mounts.
We have officially released the first video in building the addition to Ethan's house. It's a highly informative, super chill video showing the entire process. It's a totally new style, and we want you guys to check it out and tell us what you think. We are so excited about the new channel bonus bolts because this is exactly the type of content we started the channel to make, and I hope you guys love it.